All right, most important question, Weebles.
Yeah.
When is Harvest Moon 64?
You know, soon. Soon TM.
Okay.
All
Trademark.
photos.
Thank
10 hours.
goodness.
To tell the next part of the story, we have to go back. Before I joined the community, before the first of the marriage runs, before the Harvest Moon speedrunning community even existed. Back to December 24 of 2014, the night of the Christmas miracle.
Yeah, I figured if I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna need a Christmas miracle. There's no better time.
For as long as I've been part of the community, this single run sat alone in its own tab, a proof of concept just waiting for someone to challenge it. It was the first and only confirmed completion of collecting all the photos in a single playthrough.
Oh my god. Let's have a party together, dude.
It took about 9.5 hours total, not counting all the research and preparation that went into it. Not that it's hard to play a video game for 10 hours straight, some games are hard not to play for 10 hours straight. But this wasn't just 10 hours of gameplay, it was 10 hours of following strict guidelines and avoiding all the pitfalls that could make the completion impossible. And there were still so many things we didn't know about this game. Why certain things happened, or why they wouldn't.
Alright, ankle scene, let's see it. Okay, she's not here. You think that's possible because it's the fireworks celebration? Sam, does that also mean that I just cleared it? I wonder if that's the case, and I wonder if that's why I couldn't get it last time.
On paper, the requirements are simple enough, but in reality, the all photos run was a monster.
The last photo is so hard to get that, like, just getting it is an achievement in itself. Especially when you're getting all the photos before the evaluation period. That's, like, absurdly hard to do.
There's so many moving parts and different variables to keep track of, and if you're reading chat and playing by muscle memory, or just thinking about your next move instead of staying in the moment, it only takes a couple of seconds, just one wrong decision to permanently kill this run, and finding a way to beat it was going to take a group effort.
Between me and Odd Tom, we have a whole bunch of literature for all photos. I actually contacted Mr. Weebles, who is like the only one that we know of that's ever even completed the run. And he gave me a lot of stuff to work with, too.
A lot of huge breakthroughs came during this time as we started pushing the boundaries and testing the limits. We found a Japanese YouTube channel from 2007 showcasing an assortment of glitches. Most of them were visual glitches or logical oversights by the developers, but in the midst of all of these videos, hidden in plain sight, was a video demonstrating how to get Potpourri's photo in a single day. And that was one less photo to worry about. The next month, Desert was playing around with a memory viewer and found an exception to the 1 affection boost per day rule. 60 goodbyes to May and you were best friends forever, and that's one less party gets to worry about. Not long after, while trying to break into people's houses during the Egg Festival, he found another neat glitch, and it wasn't long until we were all using it to make the ranch cutscenes faster. And this is about the time that Seifers showed up.
Thank you everybody who's been supporting me, watching me tonight.
Seifers on 5 specialized in the long haul runs, and after completing a 13-hour run in Harvest Moon Boy and Girl in January, he turned his attention to Harvest Moon 64. Now, Demo had some marriage runs to win back, and Seifer took this opportunity to interview our resident expert.
Yeah, Cypher, you pretty much nailed it. The only thing is that there's a hidden requirement for the blue feather, and that hidden requirement is that you need a kitchen. So we have to forage a lot more and chop a lot more lumber than we would otherwise.
We've been chopping stumps for lumber and foraging for money for so long that it was just the accepted way to do it. But Seifer suggested that it might be faster to sleep until winter, get the money with the hot springs work, and then use the betting glitch to win the lumber. And it was a bit counterintuitive to sleep through the entire year when you're trying to finish the task as quickly as possible.
I've done runs where I'll forage my money and then I'll go to the dog race and I'll use the betting glitch to get enough metals to buy the 500 lumber there, but it ends up being slower, like considerably slower, because you have to sleep all the way till winter.
And since none of us would try it, Seifer decided to do it himself. And if he hadn't been so new to the game, he would have easily taken the top time. After Seifer's proof of concept, Demo brought the Karen time down to just over 30 minutes.
So like, I've done 212 attempts of this, where like, I was doing like, mass fishing, like, trying everything in the book, and I just cut off 10 minutes with a new route. Like, this is absurd. This is an absurd route, and it's all luck based, and all that luck happens 25 minutes into the run. Out of a 30-minute run, 25 minutes into it is when your reset happens.
And we'd all wanted a way to complete these runs faster, but that was before we knew the price we'd have to pay for it. After putting in 30 minutes to an hour of progress, it would all come down to a random dice roll, and the odds were not in your favor. You either got a PB or you watched your run slowly die. That was not the reality of the marriage runs. It takes a special kind of person to keep going after all that. But that's what made Demo stand out. When most people gave up in frustration, Demo found a way to reframe it. Whether or not the dog race went his way, the stream was still successful as a community hangout. And by the end of the summer, every marriage run used the dog race strategy. The rest of us were busy researching for all photos, and there was still a lot of work to be done. None of us knew everything, but if we all worked together, we just might be able to pull it off. Each of us wanted to complete the All Photos run at least once before the end of the year, and the only way that was going to happen is if we helped each other to get there. SCG's guide was a great place to start for data research, and we each took turns going through the document and double-checking everything, one number at a time. Although most of the All Photos runs turned into data research anyway, teaching us fun new ways that the game can and would destroy your run.
Why did I read a book? Desert, you cursed me. I don't understand. I can reach her, right? I don't understand. Oh well.
Back then, every All Photos attempt was a big event in the community because there were only two possible outcomes. Either it would fail spectacularly, or you would witness the first modern completion in real time, and it was going to be a good show either way.
Oh, that was really close, so if it's raining tomorrow, then the run would be instantly dead.
Now, I don't know how many attempts each of us made because we didn't keep track of it, and most of those streams have been lost to time. But I can tell you that my first run ended about 6 hours in. Not because the run died, but because I'd very much underestimated the amount of mental strain this thing puts you through, and I straight up burned out. I'm pretty sure I just pulled the Ethernet cable out of my laptop and then apologized for my internet going out. I know that one of my runs failed because typhoons kept me from shipping enough milks to win the cow festival, and that one of my runs failed because I ran past Anne on the farm and lost her photo forever. What I also know is that Seifer was the first of us to beat the machine. It was a classic case of the tortoise and the hare. While the rest of us were rushing through in a speedrunner state of mind, Seifer took his time, and it wasn't the fastest or the most efficient run, but it was rock steady. And 13 hours later, over twice as long as I'd gone before burning out, the one of us with the least experience with the game was the first of us to finish an All Photos run.
How about you go live and I'll go ahead and raid you with my 2 viewers and you can get round 2 going.
Now, Demo and I both wanted to be the next to complete it, so we made a gentleman's agreement. The following day, we would start at exactly the same time. And as far as I'm aware, it was the first All Photos race in the community's history.
It doesn't really even feel like a race to me, because it's such a long category that it's really like, who doesn't screw up? And then there's stuff like this that's out of both of our controls.
My run officially died about 2 hours before I realized I'd made the mistake when only 9 people showed up in my evaluation party.
I didn't do the Jeff glitch, and now that I'm married to Ellie, I don't think I can.
But I stuck around long enough to see Demo cruise on through to complete his first All Photos run. It took him 9 hours and 29 minutes, which was only 5 minutes faster than Mr. Weebles. But Demo was about to get a taste of his own medicine, because Seifer finished 2 more All Photo runs that week. The first one broke the 9-hour mark, and a few days later he swapped Lilia for Cliff as party guests and dropped another hour off his best time. It was the fastest I'd ever seen anyone bump from first place, and Seifer held it by a solid hour and a half. Demo swapped to Mary and Karen, and using the church members as party guests, he dropped his time to 8:43. On the same day, Desert finished his first All Photos, coming in just over 9 hours, and that left me as the only one left who still hadn't completed a run. My turn would come on March 26th, in one of the best streaks of luck I've ever had.
7:40. That gives me 17 minutes to hit this record. I think I can do it. I need 1 grass. I need to sleep until the end. That will be it.
We ran through the checklist during the 100 bathroom uses, but it was all done. All that was left was sleep till summer 1, 5 minutes for the evaluation, and we were finally going to knock Seifer off the top.
Did I, Oh, jeez. That's, Oh, that's not good at all. It's not gonna let me, Yeah. Yeah, he was warped inside when my log terrace was finished. And he just wasn't fed because Karen did not feed him at all. Ellie would have fed him. Let's pull my second winner. Let's see where we are, what we're doing. We're on the 19th. It's the dog race. All right. We're gonna redo the dog race.
The real test of a player's skill in this game isn't how fast you can get all the photos, but how well you can stay on track when things start deviating from your plan, and how quickly you can recover when things start going wrong. I didn't know what the penalties were for a chicken death, or if it was even possible to recover from it in time for the evaluation, but Desert ran the numbers for me, and we came up with a solid plan to play through the chicken funeral and finish the run anyway.
Hey, if you think I can make it, all right, I'll do it. I know Cliff is on the edge, I know Rick is on the edge, so -10. So that's 2 interactions with Rick, 2 with Cliff. Anne is at 200, so she'll stay above.
And with Desert's help, I was able to accomplish something I'd been trying to do since I was a teenager.
Yay, I beat a children's video game. Woohoo! Yeah, that's all there is to it.
You actually did it?
And it was just in time too, because my mom had just come in to ask why I would come all this way to visit her just to spend the whole time playing video games on my laptop.
I'm recovering from that. That would have been done like 30 minutes ago. Yes.
By the end of March, we'd each completed all photos at least once, but even our best runs couldn't touch Seifers 757. That bombshell would come on April 4th, as Desert skips the 8-hour milestone entirely, improving his time from 9:04 to 7:50. But there was an even bigger bombshell in store for us that month. One that would start with a single Karen marriage run, but would end with a ruling that would test the strength of the Harvest Moon community.